Hello, I'm
Well,
with Sissy Crusher, and we're doing a 1,000 sub celebration hangout. So,
hooray!
and we're
Only
gonna
took me 4.5 years.
yes, we're gonna talk about the feminist hate movement and the damage they're doing in society. And I'm gonna take a different direction in my channel. I'm gonna focus on men more and how men are just letting feminists do this because this is really pissing me off. Actually, they're acting like this is not happening. They're acting oblivious. They're acting stupid. And these are the same right wingers. They see a left wing plot in every fucking corner. They think the left are conspiring to take over society, run it behind the scenes, right?
Yeah.
All sorts of nonsense. But feminists are taking over society in the open. They're doing all sorts of plots. They're doing illegal things. The Whisper Network exposed. The right still they're attacking right wingers in the comic industry and they're attacking men in the comic industry, right? And they still won't talk about the feminist problem. They still won't talk about the feminist problem. It's really pissing me off. And this guy is an example of this. So this is a short video. It's 5 minutes. So we're going to watch this and we're going to move on to other subjects, but they're actually related to this as well. So let's watch.
The comic industry is a nasty place, and nothing has shown that more than the treatment Bill Willingham has gotten for standing up to DC Comics and actually doing something about their bad contracts that they give to creators. Even when creators own their own works, they truly are just slaves to these giant corporations. And of course,
So he's going to make
We'll
this
stop
about
right here.
yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
He's going to make this about corporations. By the way, he's going to deflect.
Exactly.
So yeah.
The
So
derailment of the issues.
yes, because look, it's about the Whisper. He's talking about the Whisper Network. It's a big Whisper
Yeah.
network. He's talking about that. So
Well, Mr. Pink, you know yourself that these corporations are losing money.
yes,
So it's not enslaving men to a corporation.
yes,
It's
or
the feminists destroying it, like attacking men
yes,
at the expense of the corporation.
yes, yes. Oh, so these right wingers, why are they talking about they're pro-capitalists? They're for wage slavery. So they talk about out both sides of the neck. Anyway, if you're for capitalism, this is a
Yeah.
result of capitalism. So they're incoherent ideologically. But
Yeah.
anyway,
Well,
there's
they're incoherent, but there is a method to their
no,
madness.
there's not.
What they're really saying is,
There's not. I
what's that?
disagree. There's not a method to the madness. I disagree with that actually. But no, so
Oh, but this is what I mean.
yeah,
On a personal level, what they're doing is they're saying, I want a hierarchy which I can climb
yeah,
and treat everyone else like shit. But
yeah,
I hate it when I get treated like
yeah.
shit.
So
That's what's going on in their heads.
yes, but it's but I think it's just lizard brain. It's not a plot or anything. That's why I don't think it's clever. Actually, there's no method to their
Oh,
madness. I
yeah.
disagree with that completely. So anyway, let's get on with
So
this.
you just
such a
it's madness, period.
Yes,
willing group that like wants the system to perpetuate. They want the clout from these corporations.
clout is another cope term. They want the clout from these corporations. So these feminists, they take over the corporate. So these feminists could get clout by worming their way in by being female and being friends with everyone and bigging themselves up, right? And then these all they have to do is show their cute faces. They don't even have to be stunning or beautiful. They just have to show their cute faces and say, "Oh, yay, I'm a comic book writer. I'm a comic book author.
Yeah.
Yay, I love men. I love my fellow male comic book artists. I like them so much. Just be friends with everyone. They'll gain clout overnight. Boom.
Yeah.
Right? That's all they have to
They
do.
automatically have clout.
So
They
it
got
isn't.
clout from the start.
Yes. So, they
Yeah.
don't, so this is nothing to do with clout. This is a political agenda. This is a feminist political agenda.
They want to be the real, actual published people.
Sarcastic voice again. They know what they want to do is they don't want to be the real published people. What they want to do is they want to network. They want to infiltrate. And they want to take over the company and make it feminist. And if it burns to the ground while doing so, they don't care because it's not. They
Yeah,
don't. They'll
exactly.
burn the corporation to the ground. They don't give a fuck. They're feminist activists. They're networking. Okay.
So badly that they'll go after somebody like Bill Willingham. Now, this isn't new. It happens all the way around. And I've been talking about this for years.
Well,
But there's
stop
a
right
comic
here, by the
editor.
way. When he says it happens all the time, it happens to male comic book artists all the time.
And it happens, and most importantly, it's done by feminists. They won't say who's doing it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Who's a longtime industry veteran, who is exposing what's going on in the industry and exposing just the toxic nature of that.
Toxic. It's more generic language. Oh, it's toxic nature. Toxic. No, who's doing it? Who? Who? Is it Batman? Is it Illuminati? Is it aliens? Right? Is it the Klingons? Who's doing this?
And it's really interesting to take a look at. So we are going to do that today. All right. My name is John Delarose, guys, and I have a subscribe star here if you want to support the channel, support our efforts in comics. We are creating books that are awesome here. I really
Oh, by
want
the
to get
way, Mr. Pink, I think, like you said, comics are dead. I
Yeah.
don't see any point in supporting them at all at this point
Well, the thing
because
is,
it's gone.
the thing is, it's not.
Yeah,
It's not just the problem is. It's we won't name the problem. We'll just move on to somewhere else, right, and keep our heads down. And it's dusting themselves off, right?
yeah,
It's dusting themselves off and moving
yeah.
on. It's not like so they're just moving. The feminists will just follow him. So first of all, this guy. He's a subscribe star, right? He's on subscribe star. So what they're trying to do, they're trying to set up new businesses, be independent, be outside the mainstream comic book industry. What the feminists will do, they'll just go to Patreon and subscribe star and GoFundMe and whatever, and they'll get them to deplatform them. They've already done this. Feminists have already done this to men,
Oh yeah.
right? Okay, right. So
And they'll also infiltrate here because
yeah,
this guy talking
yeah.
will give into a pretty face as much as the comic book nerds.
But
You know.
even if he doesn't, his platform where he gets fundraising is going to get attacked by feminists. It's been attacked by the point I'm making. It's been attacked by feminists already, right?
Yeah,
Men have already
yeah,
been defunded by feminists on these platforms, so you can't dust yourself off and move on. First of all, you shouldn't want to because it's cowardly. Two, you can't, right? So
yeah.
The point where I can just make monthly books through Subscribestar. And of course, that will depend on you. If you want to come on here and help us out, just grab what we got. And of course, we're putting out all of our content as we can here. If you have content that you want me to put up on Subscribestar, maybe exclusive videos, things like that, let me know. I'll do so. I'm here to cater to you as the customer, and we want to build something truly awesome here. So check this out and check out my other links in the description below. I've got wonderful comics for you guys. We are the alternative to the mainstream industry, and I appreciate
So, alternative to the mainstream industry. So again, it's not naming a problem. Oh, is something wrong with the mainstream? It's the mainstream that's in the wrong.
Yeah.
No, it's feminists, and you're not the alternative to the feminists because you're not naming the problem.
your support. Now, Valerie de Orazio, gosh, I hope I pronounced that right. I'm sorry, Valerie. Made these wonderful posts the other day, which is really exposing what's going on in the comic industry. Like we've been calling this out for a long time.
You're not calling it out because you're not saying who's doing it. Again, what political group's doing this? Again, you're not exposing anything. Like there's a bunch of random hooligans lynching black people in the South in the 50s. You never name who it is, right? It's equivalent of
Yeah.
that. It's not
Yeah.
hooligans. It's not random hooligans. It's not random thugs. It's the KKK, right? Okay.
And here's what
Well,
we've got right here.
we covered, by the way, the Whisper network ourselves,
Yeah, I,
and it's obvious the people that we looked at
yeah,
said these were feminist women.
yes.
You know.
And it's actually a woman who infiltrated it and exposed it and used the term feminist,
Yes.
right? It's like women are actually more honest than men in a lot of ways. Or
She's
some
Yeah.
women are. Let me clarify that because most women don't give a.
Yes,
Most
that's
women are.
true.
And most women are not going to speak up on this. They don't care.
says, I think it's interesting that some, not all of my comic book industry peers from 5, 10, 15 years back really consciously participated in the cancellation of their perceived rivals for gigs at publishers that went on to go out of business, not pay them, screw them over, etc.
So feminists going after other comic book creators who are not feminists and men. Okay. Now, I've just translated that.
This is the ridiculous.
So it's this
Yeah.
vague, nebulous, bland, uncommunicative language, basically.
Part. Like, I mean, if you look at a lot of these cancel culture a-holes out there on the left who are
On the left, Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Another right-wing mental defect. I'm sorry to be so blunt and rude, but fuck it. Okay, asshole, asshole. Okay, Marvel was liberal, left, progressive, right? They put black characters in the comics when it wasn't mainstream. Okay, and there was pushback against it. That's Stan Lee pushed for that. Say what you want about Stan Lee, but he was actually a progressive back in the day.
Yeah.
All right, when it came to racial issues. So it's not the left, is it? It's not the cancel culture left. Cancel culture is another euphemistic term, another cowardly euphemistic term, because cancel culture is actually just an action, cancelling, right? It's not saying who's doing it. Okay, right. Okay, so yeah, it's not the left. It's the feminists, Like the left wing
Oh, by the way,
Marvel,
Mr. Pink,
left
you
left wing.
can't tell these guys that either.
Yeah,
You can't tell them.
left wing Marvel comics was fine for 50 years, right? So it can't be that these left wingers suddenly changed, right? These progressives suddenly changed, right? It's when the feminists invaded where everything changed. Like Diversity in Comics did videos. I wish I saved them. I'm gonna have to find them. He did a video showing the entire editorial staff of Marvel, and it was all women. Women came in and took it
Yeah.
over. It was all women. Right. Let me show you. Let me show you something. I was going to show this later, but I'm going to show this now. Okay. Where is what? Okay. What is this? This is a mockingbird. This is a Hawkeye's wife, girlfriend. Right. Ask me about my feminist agenda. See that? See that? Let, let, and we've had comics where the female force been beating up villains and calling them creeps and sprouting feminists. You're a creep for like speaking out against feminism, right? These people, feminist people, are screaming in our faces saying they're feminists and they hate us as men, and cowards like this are acting like it's not happening, right? Look,
Yeah.
again, ask me about my feminist agenda, not my Marxist agenda or my leftist agenda or my socialist agenda. Ask me about my feminist, feminist, feminist. You see that?
Yeah.
Feminist
But by the way, the
agenda.
reason why they always say Marxist is because they want to try to say that feminists came from Marxism as opposed to just being a part of female nature.
No, I
That's
don't. I don't.
that's
No,
what it,
I don't think that's it. In my opinion, I think they're just so obsessed with getting at Marxists. They're making it about Marxists. It's more lizard brain than that, basically.
I keep hoping you're wrong.
No, no. I
But you
think I
might be
think
right.
it's not.
Of course, creating these blacklists. A lot of these companies like don't pay them or don't pay them well, and you see all these complaints.
Well, you're a right winger, aren't you? So that's free market capitalism. Stop whining about them not getting paid well.
I've seen some about Aftershock Comics not paying what they were truly due to a lot of people going on earlier this year.
Free market, baby. Free market.
Valiant Comics has been accused of doing much the same thing. It's crazy, but they want the clout from these companies so badly that they don't care that these companies are screwing them and perpetuating a system that's just disgusting.
So he's blaming the system. Oh, so evil corporations are screwing people. Blah blah blah. So these feminists take over corporations, make them more profitable, so they can promote the feminist agenda. That's what's going on. It's that simple. Nothing to do with these corporations not paying people. Also, that whisper. Here's this whisper. Where is this? Sorry.
Oh yeah, you get quite a
Here
few
it is.
windows open.
Sorry. Yes. This is the Whisper Network. We're not going to go into detail because we've already covered. I've already done a video. I think you've done a video on this. We've already covered this.
Yes,
But I just want to
exactly.
remind people: the Whisper Network. What these feminists will do is they'll spread false. This is actually illegal. This is actually a crime. You can't actually do this. It's against the law. But of course, they didn't get punished. Them being female, they spread rumors about other companies being bankrupt and not paying their comic book artists. Right? They spread false rumors about them to try and damage them. Okay, Whisper
Yeah.
Network, and this was a female who infiltrated and spied. So this is actually a female I'm going to thank. Thank you for infiltrating this group and spying them for us
Yes.
and exposing information. Okay, so the Whisper Network. He mentions the Whisper Network, but he won't talk about them. Bland, generic, vague, nebulous language. Coward. Complete coward.
So they help out these companies by perpetuating the fear mobs that go on around Twitter and everything like that.
Oh, fear mobs on
The
Twitter.
fear mob.
Fear
Yeah.
mob. Feminists again. It's feminist women doing this. And also, how are they helping out the corporations by doing this? Non sequitur. It doesn't make sense. It's conspiracy theory. So, profitable corporations were making money, had good PR, public relations, had a fan base. They make profits by getting feminists invading the companies, destroying them, making them unprofitable, forcing comics that no one wants to read, and having mobs going after male comic book creators and artists and fans, destroying the industry. That doesn't make sense. It's a non sequitur. It's gibberish.
Yeah.
He's a paranoid mental defect. I'm sorry, it's a non
Yeah.
sequitur.
It's like Gillette all over again. Like
Yes,
Gillette actually lost money, and
yes,
they don't care. They
yes,
they were willing to insult men.
yes. But what I'm saying is that their conspiracy theories don't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Like
No, of
they're not
course not.
making. Okay, so it's much simpler. If they're not making profits, right? They're not making profits and they're losing money by doing this, and there's feminists in prominent positions of power. It's obvious. It's obvious. The feminists in power don't care about the profits, and they're going to burn the profits to the ground. It's that simple.
It's sad. But Valerie goes on. So much backstabbing, rumor mongering, sometimes absolute lies, the hit pieces and comic book media. All this Machiavellian BS, and for what? What is there really to show for it? And how many publishers are
Hold
still
it.
there insolvent.
If there's nothing to show for it, then it's not Machiavellian, is it?
No, it is Machiavellian. It's Machiavellian in the political sense. They're feminists out to spread feminism and destroy male
Yeah,
spaces. That's what's Machiavellian
yeah.
about it. They don't care about profits. These are comfortable women.
Exactly.
Yes, so
Exactly.
it's
But
Machiavellian.
you see, it doesn't make any sense where he's coming from because, from his point of view, or that he's trying to push at least, it wouldn't make sense.
Well, he's
You
going,
know what I mean? Like,
gee, why are these corporations doing this? They're losing profits. So he's actually contradicting
yeah,
himself, basically, right? They're losing
yeah,
profits, but they're doing this to make profits. It doesn't make sense.
mhm, yeah,
Yeah.
Not just the publishers, true, but these media companies. CBR, we did an expose a couple of weeks ago about how they weren't paying, they were overloading their employees. They're pushing like these AI articles, and of course, a lot of these people don't get paid at all. They just literally write for CBR, trying
Well, comic book resources, feminist filth and trash. So I've got no pity for them.
yeah,
Fuck them. So,
yeah,
uh,
to get clout. They try to write nice pieces about Marvel and DC in order to try to get access to those creators in hopes that one day they'll be noticed and then get the call up, I guess, is how it goes. It's really a terrible system. It's slave labor at the end of the day.
you're a capitalist. You're a right wing capitalist. You're a right wing capitalist. Shut up about slave labor. Are you a Marxist? Are you a Marxist? You're suddenly a Marxist now. Okay.
And these people are just willingly doing it over and over again. It's simping for corporations. It's terrible.
It's not simping for corporations, is it? Right. So basically, it's feminists trying to impress other feminists and network with them. Basically, that's all it is. It's nothing to do with simping for corporations. Okay.
The absolute
And also, these feminist websites like Comic Book Resource, they've attacked all the male fan base, and driven them away. Right. So they're becoming more unprofitable. They're forced to write AI articles. Right. This is feminism destroying male spaces. That's all it is.
yeah.
Okay.
cherry
Hey,
on
do
the
you think
effing
this guy, by the way, believes in unions? This right winger?
Who knows? He's who knows? I don't really care what he believes, to be honest. It's a mess.
cupcake is twofold. One, the destitute state of the current mainstream comics publishing industry that they quote fought for didn't fight so much for the causes, fought for their own gigs and dollars, and B, the unwashed troglodytes they worked so hard to kick out of the industry, and fandom ended up making their own damn comics, and in a number of cases were way more successful.
No, cope,
No.
cope, cope. Your
Yeah,
comic book industry is dying. The feminists have destroyed
it
it.
is.
Comic book shops are shutting down. Okay, it's cope, 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 cope. Right, and feminists are destroying video games. They're destroying manga. They're destroying anime. They're destroying sci-fi. Like, do you know what? You know, there's a lot of hype about the One Piece TV series right now. It's the major cope thing because it's a
Oh yeah.
success. They finally adapted a live action anime correctly, right? This is how you do
Yeah.
it. Cowboy Bebop got it wrong. Right, I don't know if they're doing it correctly or not because I'm not interested. I like One Piece, but it's the sort of anime I don't want to see a live action
No,
adaptation of.
exactly. To
But
tell you the
no, but
truth,
sorry, I'm about to
it's
say
not.
something. No, I'm going to
Go
say
ahead.
something. Sorry. Okay, but the point is, I'm going to say something here. The point is, it doesn't matter whether they're getting it right or not, whether it's good or not, because the Witcher started off well. They got James Cavill doing it. It started off well, and it got trashed by season 2. So I'm going to make a prediction, right? One Piece, the first season, it might be good, right? But I'm going to by season 2 or 3, the feminists are going to take over and ruin it. That's my prediction. I just had to say that before I
Yeah,
forgot.
exactly, exactly. I mean, I know that's off topic, but as far as I'm concerned, uh, I find live actions are shit for the most part
Yeah.
anyway. But it's just off topic. Go ahead.
Yes. Yes.
Next.
But it's going to. But I'm saying they're trashing something and they're moving on again. It's dusting themselves off. It's got, oh look, they're burning a house down. Let's go to a nice camping spot and have a nice camping trip. It's like doing that, right?
Yeah,
No, you put boundaries in the sand, and men have got to get together, network, and drive feminist women out. That's the only way to stop it. Only way.
That's what we're seeing a lot. We're seeing that indie publications that just go online and just buck the system are making.
Well, feminists are going after them as well. The Whisper Network showed that the feminists going after the independent comic book creators, spreading rumors about them, trying to get them cancelled, rumor mongering about them. Right? Okay. Like I said, when feminists really want to get you, they can go to the websites and stop the payment system. They can stop Patreon. They can stop GoFundMe. They can stop Subscribestar. Right? They can get you. They can cancel you. They can right. So this is all cope. You shouldn't have to live in fear. You shouldn't have to move. oh, I'll just move to another town where I won't get lynched. No, you got to deal with the lynchers on principle. On
Yeah.
it's about pride and self-respect that these men don't have.
making a lot of money. These people get even more jealous when you see
By the way, fight the good fight. Okay, whatever.
Yeah.
somebody like Eric July, Ethan Van Sciver, myself, anybody making comics, and we're making livings
Oh,
when these
by the
people just
way,
can't.
Mr. Pink,
Yeah.
I could understand if the male population was like 2%. You know, if we were just a tiny population that couldn't help it. But we're 50%. There's actually absolutely no excuse for
Yeah.
men's cowardice. None.
Yes.
Can't do it. We've seen Heather Antos, for example, talk about how like she was like not even able to like afford apartments or and had to like crowdfund buying a new computer because these people weren't paying her whatsoever.
Who gives a fuck?
It's just the clout that mattered to her. And if
So she's a feminist, obviously. So she's out for the clout. No, it's not the clout. She's out to promote. Clout is a euphemistic term to avoid saying feminist. It's using the term of
Yeah.
gaining. When they use the term clout, they should really say gaining political influence for a political ideology, right? These women are
Yeah.
foot soldiers to promote feminism and to attack men, and they use the term clout instead. They're not just out to get clout. Like I said, these women could act friendly, write half decent comics, or get. Look, these women could probably get a man to do it for them and pass it off their own work, right? They don't
Oh
have.
yeah.
It's nothing to do about gaining clout.
of course now she's got that clout and can lord over the industry. It's really
Well, get lord of the industry, get a gatekeeper position. That's what feminists do. They enter the industry, gain positions of power, then they gatekeep it. Like for example, chess.com on Reddit, the Reddit chess site. I got a 7-day ban on Reddit. Okay, and there's this chess. I won't go into it too much, but there's this chess player. He's getting rumors spreaded. He's getting me too'd, right? And all the comments saying, "Oh, my daughter doesn't feel safe playing chess because of men like them. He has to be dealt with, or otherwise women can't play chess." And I just said, "Look, if you're hostile to men, we don't want you in chess, right? Stop rumor spreading and fear mongering against that man." I got a 7-day ban.
Yeah.
I got reported to 7-day ban because it's feminists controlling it. The most vicious, disgusting feminist network and control spaces all the time. And until these fucking right-wing fucking cowards do something and speak up against about this, they're going to carry on dominating. This is what pisses me off. I would actually be allies with right-wingers if they weren't so fucking stupid. You're fucking
Oh,
morons.
by the way, this is another reason why I think they're not that as lizard brain as you say,
Yeah.
because I've had conversations like I'll get into YouTube comments and go right to the channel owner, start having these pointing out what's going on, and they deflect and deflect. So they're a lot of them are smart enough to know they just cannot. They just lack courage. They're just complete cowards.
No,
That's
I
it.
think it's lizard-brained as well. I think they just want to blame the left. Honestly,
Yeah.
honestly,
Oh yeah, they want to do that too. Of
yes.
course.
really crazy at the end of the day. And of course, what does she provide that, of course, we aren't providing better? We are. It's sad to watch these people.
It's not about providing a service. Do you remember the Dark Knight movie with the Joker? Where the Joker gets a lot of money and he promises to share it with a criminal gang, right? And then the
Yeah.
Joker burns the money, and then he goes, "It's not
Yeah.
about the money. It's about sending a message, right?" These women, it's not about the money. It's about sending a message. They're burning male spaces down because it's not about the money. It's about sending a message. Yeah. Do you get
Exactly.
that? Yes.
Act like this,
Yeah.
but I'm glad that there's more people like Valerie who are getting brave enough to call this out. When Valerie
You're not brave enough to call it out, are you?
does something like this, she's risking a lot to herself. She's risking being
Hold
destroyed.
on.
She's
No,
risking
no, she's not. Women do not suffer. You know,
Well,
she might get some blowback.
she might get some feminists stalking her, but the risk's a lot smaller. It's a lot smaller.
Yeah.
It's like 1%, but it's still some risk, I would say. What the risk is, it, it, I, any male partner she's got, there's a big risk for them. They'll go after her male partner probably.
Yeah.
They've done this before against women they hate. They try and rumor spread about their male partners.
people blacklisting her. And this has happened over the years as Valerie's worked on this.
So they're blacklisting her, they're blacklisting us. So what's the answer? We got to blacklist them first, right? Ban feminism before it bans you. It's the only way. There's no debating them, there's no reasoning of them, there's no keeping them under control. You got to keep them out.
And I really appreciate her reporting out there. It's sad to see the comic industry like this, but we're starting something new. We as indie
No, you're not, because if it gains any traction, whatever you're doing, if it gains any traction, the feminists will destroy it. If it gets too big, they'll crush it. It will either be too small for them to be worth bothering with, or they'll just crush it. Right? It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
I think that's the end of that video. So let's jump topic. Okay. Sorry. Okay, where is it? Yes.
Here we are, Ruby
Okay.
Ellis. Yeah.
Okay. Oh look, Russell Brand, please receive sexual. Oh, let's jump to this quickly.
Okay, let's do it.
Oh, have you noticed? Wow, it's like. Have you noticed a pattern here? It's always in the past. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, okay. So the most successful. So okay, this he's okay. Look, actually, he was quite pretty when he was younger. But anyway, he's effeminate though. He's effeminate. Okay, and if he wasn't famous, women would bypass him. But he was really famous. He was a comedian, and he slept with
Yeah.
loads of women. He was banging loads of women. He was very sexy. He's very sexually successful, right? He's had more women than entire Discord groups with 1,000 people in it, right? Put it that way.
Oh, by the way, it's funny. It's 2003.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Isn't
I'm
that
sorry.
the?
Yeah, I'm saying that's the pattern. It's always in the
Yeah.
past. Always.
Yeah. Well, what I just wanted to say that is that's I think that's exact same year that they accused Masterson of
Yes.
Danny
It's the
Masterson.
same fuck. Yes,
You
yes,
know.
yes, yes. Yes, it's the same pattern. It's the same pattern. So anyway, they're going after him now. Sexually successful, high status male, tall, charming, articulate, blah blah blah. He's got a weird voice though. But anyway, the Metropolitan Police have received a report of an alleged sexual assault in 2003 in the wake of media allegations about Russell Brand. Shame on you, BBC, for using the word alleged. Right? I thought we live in an era of listen and believe. Any woman that says it happened. Right? That's sarcasm, by the way. Okay, but it's going to get to the point where they get rid of the alleged. Right?
Yeah.
Officers did not name Brand, but they said they were in contact with the women who were providing her with support. So the man gets named, but the women don't get named. And it's
Yeah.
very important to name the women for various different reasons. But one of the big reasons why it's important to name them is in the past when they were named, a lot of these women were exposed to pathological liars who had a history of doing this
Yeah.
over and over and over and over again. Right? Okay. So look, statistically speaking, a woman might get raped once, a woman might get raped twice. When it gets to 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 times, if a woman's going around reporting that she's been raped 10 times, she's a pathological liar.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, it's a quick. If I told you I was kidnapped by the mafia and tortured once, oh, that's bad luck. But if I kept on saying, oh yeah, it's happened to me 10 times now, you wouldn't believe me. I'd be a pathological liar. It's the same fucking principle.
Yeah.
2006, and this guy's a real white knight. Following the allegations, upcoming shows on Brand's life tour have been postponed and confirmed. So he's been punished financially without any proof. So
Yeah.
just accused, punished, right?
The punishment is immediate.
Yes.
There doesn't have to be any trials or any hold up. All the length of time goes to when the man wants to defend himself. Then it takes forever.
All right. In a statement, the Met said it was aware of the media allegations and continued on Sunday, 17th of September. The Met received a report of a sexual assault which was alleged to have taken place in Soho, in central London, in 2003. The Fort Walls first spoke to the Sunday Times on Saturday and has since made further approaches to the newspaper and Channel 4 to ensure anyone who believed they were a victim of sexual offence, no matter how long ago it was, knows how to report it to the police. Right?
Now that is disgusting.
So they're
But they
encouraging
it's
it
strict.
basically, and it's believed. You
Yeah.
either know you've been raped or you don't. Or maybe you might have been drugged or raped, but come on, really, you know you've been raped or not.
Yeah.
Brand's behaviour.
Also, remember they include almost anything in rape too.
Yes,
Flirtation, everything else.
Brand's behaviour was an open secret, says accuser. So these women who have no interest in this person innately, they don't find him sexually attractive, right? They're getting with him because of his status, right? They're the ones that turn around and say, "Oh, his behaviour is an open secret." No, your whorish behaviour is the open secret, right? That's the real open secret. Women who are not interested in men sexually getting with them because of the status and because they're famous, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's creepy as hell, by the way.
Yes, it is. It's so who's a creep? The man going with women he finds attractive, the women throwing themselves at him because of his status, or the woman getting with the man because he's famous, right? what's the real creepy
Yeah.
behavior? Like Elvis was ignored when he wasn't famous. Hitler was ignored when he wasn't famous, right? But when he was famous, women were throwing themselves at their feet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Check magnet all of at once. Yeah.
Yes. All of a sudden, yeah. During the time of the alleged sexual assault by 4 women reported by dispatches and the Times, Brown has been working for the BBC, Channel 4, and Edimot, now acquired by Banji. On Sunday, each announced they had launched investigations of their own. So they're not the police force. It's none of their fucking business. They're not meant to launch investigations. Fuck you. The Times has said it's received more allegations since the investigation was revealed, but it's yet to verify them. This is the false allegation bandwagoning effect. Right.
Exactly. That's
Okay.
how it works.
So Pat Brown,
It's chum in the water. It's
yes,
chum in the water.
Pat
You know.
Brown, she's done videos about this. She hasn't spoken about it as a false accusation bandwagon effect, but she's spoken about crime reports, right? And when there's a criminal out committing crimes, committing real crimes, there's always people who phone into the hotlines to give tips with false information. They're just pathological. They just makes fantasies and nonsense and stories up,
Yeah.
right? So what happens when a celebrity, like it says, the chum in the water, once the chum in the water's thrown, the bait in the water's been thrown to the sharks, right? The fantasists come out and make stories up against the celebrities. Okay,
Yes.
so this is Women's Hour. One of the women who's accused of entertaining sexual assault when she was 16 told BBC 4 Women's Hour on Monday that allegations against them had been a long time coming. So they platform these women. They're still anonymous, but they platform the women, the broadcast their stuff, right?
Yeah.
So women kill men, right, and get away with it, or abuse them, and beat them and torture them. The men don't get platformed, right? But false accusers do. We don't need to read all of this. It's the same pattern of
No.
behaviour, right? Let's I've got to go back. Hang on. Okay. Rub- Loris Rubus giving Spanish restraining order over World Cup kiss. So this is not just a hysteria. This is not him just getting criticised. He's been legally punished now. Okay.
Yeah. And everyone's in on it because all society saw that and see it for what it is.
Yes.
Him celebrating, giving this woman a celebration kiss, and these women who he brought to victory
Yeah.
turned on him.
Yes. But let's get to
That's
that.
what the
Yes.
average
Yes.
woman thinks.
Yes. 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 And women, a woman could like spontaneously be happy, be euphoric, show affection, and kiss someone, and nothing would happen to her, right? Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing. All right. Because at the very most, it's annoying. Like using this standard, using this legal standard, there's plenty of old grannies that need to go to jail for kissing their grandchildren, right? In fact,
Yeah.
the grandchildren go, "Oh, don't kiss me," and she kisses them anyway. Happens all the fucking time. Those grannies should be in
Yes,
prison
it
then.
does.
Should be in prison. Okay. Have you noticed all the top Russell Brand, all these stories? Okay. A judge has banned Spanish ex-football chief Rubles from going within 200 meters of a footballer Jenny Humerzo. So this is nonsense. Restraining orders are bad in the first place. I don't like them, but they shouldn't be used for such petty crime. So if he bumps into her by accident within 200 meters, right, entire football field, right, he can go to jail for breaking it. That's fucking nonsense. Prosecutors asked for a restraining order as the National Court in Madrid considered a criminal complaint of sexual assault and coercion. What the fuck, right? Sexual assault and coercion. Who the fuck was getting coerced? He just kissed her. I've seen the footage of it, right? Appearing, she didn't even appear uncomfortable. So she's being a social chameleon and jumping on the bandwagon and pretending to feel uncomfortable to get the man, right? Appearing in court for the first
They're
time.
celebrating this. These women are celebrating this,
Yes,
by the way.
yes, yes. Appearing in court for the first time, Mrs. Rubles denied he's in court sexually assaulting. I was thinking about moving to Spain. I'm never going to move to Spain now. Mrs. Hermoso by kissing
Yeah.
on the lips after Spain's Women's World Cup win. Okay, so like again, this is not an extra fussy law. This is a gendered law to get men. Women are not going to be charged
Yeah.
with this. Mrs. Hermoso's lawyer was adamant it was non-consensual kiss. You don't ask for consent for a kiss. This is fucking nonsense. Kisses are affection is spontaneous, right?
Yeah.
You don't ask for consent. This is nonsense. This is, like I said, this consent standard is not going to apply to women. Okay, so what you do, he says, don't, if it annoys you, that annoys me, don't do that again. That's it. And then if they do it again, you can do something about it, right? That's the standard, but that's not standard in play. Can I kiss you? Like a robot, like an emotionless robot. That's not how it works. Like I said,
Yeah.
if someone spontaneously shows affection, you tell them to bug off and not do it again. Then they do it again. Then you've got a ground to stand on to go after them, as far as I'm concerned, right? Okay. Mr. Rubid, Mrs. Rube, I'll just call Rubeles, Mr.
Ruby Ellis.
Rubialis resigned his position as head of the Football Federation. So he gave in, basically. He gave
Yeah.
in, right? He
Well, you
gave
know
it,
something? Well, you mentioned it earlier.
yeah.
If he can't be within 200 feet of this woman, he might have found it impossible.
No, but he still should have done it because
No, of course
it
not. Of course
emboldens
not.
them. He gave in to try and survive and let it blow over. That was blood in the water to the Sharks. Earlier
Yeah.
this week, and he appeared in a closed court session on Friday to deny the two criminal offences. It's a closed court session. You see how sinister this is.
Yeah.
Investigating Judge Francisco D. George, I'm going to have to look that up later, was asked to bar him from approaching within 500 metres of
For
Jenny,
500 meters. Holy shit.
or,
Holy
or
shit.
communicating
That's,
with her. Well, he later agreed to the order but placed restrictions at 200 metres, 650 feet, adding that Mrs. Ribby should not contact the player during the investigation. If I was in his position, I'd violate the order and just spit in her face. You know.
oh, yeah.
A further
A
request
scumbag.
further request that he should appear before the judge every 15 days was rejected. They're treating him like a sex offender, basically.
Yeah.
Every 50, that's just a nuisance. That's done out of spite and nuisance and sadism. Okay. Spain won the Women's World Cup in Australia on 20th of August, but the team's success has been overshadowed ever since by Mrs. How do you pronounce his name again?
Ruby
Rubel
Ellis.
Ruby Ellis. Action during the celebrations after the final whistle. So it's not overshadowed. That's the wrong word. Feminists saw a man doing something and a pretext to go after him, and they took it. So it's not
Yeah,
overshadowed.
it's an opportunity.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's an opportunity. A boycott of the national team has still not been resolved, a week ahead of the next game, and 39 players have signed a letter saying that the changes made by the Football Association are not enough for the players to feel in a safe place. So he's getting cancelled, he's getting harassed, but it's still not enough for them. They're boycotting it for not going far enough, basically.
Yeah.
They're lunatics. So women's football should be boycotted by every single man on the planet. They should get nothing
Yeah.
from us. Okay?
But you know something? I'm going to go further. I finally understand why they used to have that old rule
Yeah.
way back when in the Middle East,
Yeah.
where they'd say it took two women to accuse one man.
Yes.
Now I understand it perfectly.
Yes.
But that's not even good enough now
Yeah.
because just the way
Yeah.
technology is,
The thing,
you know.
they're not even accusing him of anything. That's the thing. A non-crime is now considered. He did what they're accusing him of, kissing a woman.
Yeah,
It's a non-crime. It's like, oh, Trevor, you're picking your nose, and I've got footage of you picking your nose, right?
yeah,
And whether you did it or not, it's nothing to do with anything. It's not a fucking crime. They're turning
yeah,
non-crimes for
exactly.
men into crimes. Ruby Alice arrived in court in a black suit and a white shirt and spent a reported 45 minutes being questioned by the judge. Now, this is what I'd fucking do, right? If I was a rich, high status man and I was accused of anything by the feminist system, I'll just leave the country and never come back. Period. I'd
Yeah,
disappear. I'll be gone. I'll be gone. I'll be gone. After denying allegations against him, he left the court alongside his lawyer, Oluga Tuba. Right.
yeah,
Ruby Alice has maintained that when he held her head in his hand and kissed her on the lips, it was mutual and consensual. He's getting into the false framing. The whole concept
yeah,
of it being
exactly.
consensual is the false framing. You do not consent for spontaneous affection, right?
Yeah,
What you do, you try
it's
it.
just being affectionate. That's harmless.
It's about reading
You know,
social
you're being
cues.
kind to someone.
Yes, it's about reading social cues. Again, all the woman has to do is says, "I don't like that. Don't do that again." Boom, done.
Yeah,
Okay. He eventually resigned on Sunday as president of the federation, declaring, "I have faith in the truth, and I will do everything in my power to see so that it prevails." Okay, you've got your faith is misplaced, my friend. Not about the truth. You're fucked. He's like a
oh
deer in the
yeah,
headlights, basically. He doesn't understand what's going on. He was probably a massive white knight Majorna. You've got to be a massive white knight Majorna to coach a female football team. I'm afraid because I'm not gonna build up women. I'm sorry, because if they hate me, I'm not gonna build them up. Mrs. Himerjo, 33, says that she did not consent to the kiss. Prosecutors submitted her initial complaint of a sexual assault and added one of coercion, arguing that it put pressure on the Spain forward to come to his defence amid uproar in the days after the kiss. What a fucking low-life bitch cunt. Fucking
oh yeah.
spiteful,
Look, a great big
evil
smile on her
bitch.
face. What a scumbag.
Evil fucking bitch. Evil. Trying to destroy the man's life. Evil cunt. Evil bitch. Bitch.
Yeah.
Bitch. Evil.
Rubiales, his mother went on a hunger strike. She had no idea what she was up against.
Yeah, they don't care. The thing is, they don't care about
Yeah.
women. They'll let a woman die to get out another man,
Yeah,
basically.
exactly.
I remember the feminists back in the day were saying MRAs would rather harm a woman than help a man, right?
Yes.
That's feminist projection. That's actually feminists.
Projection, yeah.
Yes. Right. Outside court, her lawyer, Culla Rivell, said that everyone has seen what had happened, and we can partially say that thanks to these images and thanks to social change and changing the law, we can show that Mrs. Rubio's had a complete lack of consent. Okay. Women don't get charged with breaking consent for kissing. Right. What men
Yeah.
in Spain need to actually do is need to try and charge women of this out of principle and get as many women as
Yes.
convicted as possible. This is a war. This is a sex war against men. Spain's left-wing government reformed laws on consent in the past 2 years after a notorious gang rape case in 2016 that led to 5 men being cleared of rape. Okay. I don't know the
Okay,
details
they
about
were
this.
innocent men then.
Okay, no,
That's what
but
was
no, I'm
going
going
on.
to say something. I don't know the details of this case, right? Okay, even if they did this gang rape, even if there was this gang rape and it got off on a technicality, which I doubt, I highly doubt this. I'm 99% sure that never happened. But even if they did, what has this got to do with kissing? Do you see what they're doing? They're blurring the waters,
Yes,
muddying the waters. They're
exactly.
being nebulous with terms. So, kissing, gang rape. These two things don't go together, do they? So, what they do, they link to the most serious crimes or accusations of crimes, and they apply it to petty things and apply it to everything to smear men, right? It's a pattern of feminist behaviour. Okay, gang rape has nothing to do with this. Jesus Christ. Kissing with affection, gang rape in a dark alley. Like, it's nonsense. It's a non sequitur, actually. Non sequitur tactics. Dishonest people, dishonest groups, hate groups use non sequitur tactics, right? Because they don't have logic on their side. Under the so-called only yes is yes law, a non-consensual kiss can be considered an offence of sexual assault. Well, we've got to throw these grannies in jail then. There's hundreds of thousands of grannies that need to go to jail. So Mrs.
Yeah.
Rube Alice could face a fine or even a jail sentence if the case goes to trial and he is found guilty. Right. I'm not going to say I can't say what I would actually do in these shoes anymore. I don't want to get banned from YouTube.
Yeah.
5 days after the World Cup victory, Jenny Humanso issued a statement saying that no person in a work, sport, or social setting should be a victim of such non-consensual conduct. You see, it's nothing to do with it being non-consensual. Non-consensual. Fuck off. Fuck off. You'll kiss, you fucking bitch. You fucking. It's not like you shove your tongue down your throat, you fucking bitch. Evil,
She wasn't
spiteful
uncomfortable
bitch.
either. I remember seeing it. She
Yes.
wasn't uncomfortable.
Yes.
You know.
But even if she was, it still should. It should be a. Don't do
I'm
that
just
again.
saying they're
Yeah.
lying.
Yes,
That's
they're
all
lying.
I
Yes,
was
they're
going to say.
lying. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, like to be honest, I think men should be able to slap women on the arse, and women should be able to slap men on the arse in certain
Yeah.
circumstances. Like for example, if you know the person you're at a party, slap. That's fine in my opinion, right? Men and women do it all the time. Okay, I see women
Yeah.
do it to men all the time. Now, if there's a stranger on the street and you just walked up to him, then of course you shouldn't be able to do that. It's all about context and social cues, right? And these feminists try to pass the most autistic laws imaginable, so it's broad, right? Oh, you got to ask for consent. You don't ask for consent for that sort of thing. She's due to give evidence to the court at a later date. The judge will decide whether the case goes to trial after examining a series of videos from before, during, and after the ceremony. Right? Okay. He asked to see the moment of the kiss from all angles. He'll also examine videos and celebrations in the dressing room and the team bus as he left in the stadium in Sydney. Mr. Rubles was initially suspended by the World Football Governing Body FIFA before he eventually stood down as both the head of the RFEF and vice president of UEFA. For weeks, he's
Oh,
refused
here's
to.
another thing. All of FIFA supported this woman's lies.
Yes, because it's
All of them.
feminist. It's
The whole
feminist.
thing.
Look, to be honest, there wouldn't be women's football getting such prominence if FIFA wasn't feminist and mangina-ish. Women's
Yeah.
football is a niche thing. No one cares about it. It's not athletic. It's not good. It's boring shit. Women are not even that attractive. And even if they were attractive, you're not going to watch something for 90 minutes just to watch attractive women. It's the sort of thing. If there's attractive women doing sports, I'll watch it for like a few minutes and just move on. That's how it works, right? Oh, there's this pretty female tennis player. I'll check her ass out for a bit, then I'll move on. I'm not going to watch the entire thing just to watch her ass. I'm sorry. In one combative address to the RFEF last month, he hammered home the words, no void, I will not resign 5 times. Well, you resigned, didn't you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. In a TV interview with Piers Morgan, he repeated on contention that the footballer had lifted him up at the time of the kiss rather than the other way round. We had fleeting kisses 2/10 of a second, but that was great. But that what was created from that is crazy, he said. No, vindictive. The
Yeah.
event in
Yeah.
Sydney continues to rock Spanish football. Earlier this month, women's team coach George Velez was fired and replaced by assistant coach Mondelez's Tome, the first woman to run the team. Ah, okay. I see what's going on here.
Yeah.
So basically, the men ran the team,
Replacement.
had success, and all the women are like beating them out and taking over. This feminist takeover.
Yeah.
Female social hostility against men. Every single time.
Yeah.
Every single time. Like
Men earn, women steal. That's what it
men, it's
is.
not just men build up women to take over and steal as well. And my
Yeah.
okay, men, you got to stop giving women stuff and providing for them, networking with them. They hate you. They hate you.
Yeah.
Valida's own
That's the
role.
average woman on the street too.
Valida's own role in federation has been controversial. 50 members of the women's team, known as La Regia, resigned a year ago, complaining the situation in the national team affected their emotional state and their mental health. Whatever. Tone was announced her first squad on Friday ahead of two. I don't want to read the rest. It's not relevant, really.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
basically,
We win.
we got the
Yeah.
gist of that. And what's this? Oh no, that's about. Sorry, there's another article I want to look at briefly. Where? Oh, Daily Mail. Close that. Disgraced former Spanish FIFA chief Rules is selling his 1.2 million home in Madrid amid growing legal fees as he deals with the fallout of Kissgate scandal following Women's World Cup final. Okay, so the language is
Wow.
manipulative. But that disgraced. He's not disgraced. The language is biased and manipulative. Kissgate,
Yeah.
like Jesus Christ. Yeah, and basically he's a handsome guy as well. He's 46 years old, symmetrical face, tanned, good looking. Right, he's a handsome chap.
All everything that guys brag up.
Yes, he's
Yeah.
so again no
Athletic.
such thing, no such thing as Chad.
Yeah.
Actually, I actually knew.
And by the way,
Yeah.
the reason why I think he said I'm not going to quit 5 times in a row, he probably had no idea how bad it was going to
Yeah,
be.
he's a deer in the headlights. He doesn't
Yeah.
understand. He'll have to be to run a women's football team, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, so deer in the
Oh, by the way,
headlights.
this is also why guys use the word crazy all the time,
Yeah,
because it's not crazy. They have no idea how the world actually works.
sadistic. It's
Yeah.
sadistic. Yeah, like, it's crazy when the women destroy themselves doing it, but the women are not destroying themselves. They're having a great time doing it. They're
Yeah.
loving it. Like, it's like that McDonald's advert. I'm loving it. They're loving it. It's like McDonald's to them. So yeah. Mediterranean people are very affectionate anyway. It's a standard of their culture.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I saw it on, someone showed me on Twitter. There was there was a football fan who showed all these male footballers in Spain kissing each other on the right on the lips when
yeah,
when they gain victory. So
yeah. So it's basically they're not. So it's a gendered law to get at men. You're scum.
yeah,
You're subhuman. You're not meant to show affection to men. This is what it's designed. What it is. It's meant to drive him to suicide. All right. This is an attack to ostracize him and drive him to suicide and let him know he's scum and that he's toxic and his touch is toxic and women hate him and we're going to drive you to suicide. That's it.
yeah,
That's the goal. It's marginalisation. But all
yeah,
accusations by feminists of men wanting to marginalise women is a lie. Let's look at the comments of this.
yeah. Oh, by the way, everyone listening, this Rubialis is proof that it's all under the surface, ready to come up at any time.
Look again, woke witch hunt. I'm going to put a comment. Not woke feminist. Stop
Thank
being
you.
a fucking coward and call it by the real name.
Yeah. Oh, and this guy
I
taken too
can't.
far. That would suggest it was good to start with in
Yeah.
any sense.
Very mild, meek criticism, mild, vague, nebulous language. Men don't communicate. The thing, that therapist you video did that therapist about men not communicating, right? It's not that lack the social skills, their communication is not validated, and that's why they're so meek and mild over everything,
Yes,
and they don't express
exactly.
themselves. Yeah, because like women get to talk about how much they hate men, right? And it's validated. Men can't do the same thing back to women. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think I've said everything I need to say. I think we've covered this,
Yeah,
right?
we
So
we we got
I'm
it.
saying so it's
Good.
a pattern of behaviour. Comic. Oh yeah, I'm looking at it. Comic Gate, right? The Whisper Network, women marginalising men. Like Warren Ellis. I did a video on that Warren Ellis. He was sleeping with women. He was having groupies. He's very ugly, quite frankly. I hate to say it, right? He's ugly. He's like a dwarf, basically,
Yeah.
right? A ginger
Yeah.
dwarf, and he had lots of groupies. He was fucking lots of groupies, having sex with lots of groupies, right? Because he's a famous comic book writer, and he wrote TV shows, and he got cancelled. He got ostracised. It's the men actually getting gang stalked and harassed. It's men getting harassed and gang stalked and marginalised. Gang stalking. The women are gang stalking men. The legal system's weaponised against men. The legal system. This is like institutionalised, systematic legal violence against men by feminists. Yeah.
It is. That's exactly what it is in a nutshell.
Anyway, it's really
100%
hot.
accurate.
My voice is cracking because of the heat. It suddenly got really hot. So, have you got anything to
Oh
add?
yeah. No, I think we've done it, covered all the bases.
All right. I'll send this to you later then. Over and out.
Thank you. Be around, Mr. Payne.